Young and the Restless. Phyllis's daring plot twist and Victor betrayal unleashed. Chaos reigns. This week, we've got Phyllis trotting out to the new ranch house to meet with Victor, and she tells him she has an offer he can't refuse. Phyllis tells Victor she stole Kane Ashby's, Billy Flynn, AI program and will let him have it on one condition. He can't resist what Phyllis is offering, and he agrees. After meeting with Phyllis, Adam Newman, Mark Grossman, and Chelsea Lawson Newman, Melissa Claire Egan, are over at the new ranch to see Victor. He tells them they can't tell anybody, but Phyllis had a falling out with Kane and stole the AI and offered it to him. Young and the Restless. Victor takes the deal. So Victor explains to Adam and Chelsea that he's going to use it to take over Jabot, and then Phyllis is going to get Jabot as her payment. Victor says that was the price she demanded, and he seems fine giving it to Phyllis rather than destroying it. Victor says that he never actually wanted to destroy Jabot. He just wanted to destroy Jack Abbott, Peter Bergman. And him losing Jabot to Phyllis would actually destroy Jack. There's no lie there. Victor tells Adam and Chelsea that Phyllis doesn't want to get her hands dirty, so Victor agreed to do it, and it's a win-win. Of course, Victor's happy to do that. He sees Jack miserable, and Phyllis gets what she says she wants. Is Phyllis secretly plotting to double-cross Victor? However, I think she may be outsmarting Victor. Phyllis may have a twisted blindside coming that Victor won't see at all. Here's what I think might happen in the end. I think Phyllis misleads Victor into thinking the AI program is aimed at Jabot, but in fact, Phyllis might have set it up so it's really aimed at Newman Enterprises. I think Phyllis is kind of jangling keys to distract Victor while she sneaks up to stab him in the back on Young and the Restless. Phyllis may have Victor convinced she despises Jack because he chose Diane Jenkins, Susan Walters, over her, and that Phyllis is also mad at Billy Abbott, Jason Thompson, for choosing Sally Spectra, Courtney Hope, and Kyle Abbott, Michael Mueller, as part of her anger because he dumped Summer Newman, Allison Lanier. There's plenty of motive that Victor can see when Phyllis explains that she wants to take Jabot away to punish Jack and Kyle and mess with John Abbott's, formerly Jerry Douglas, legacy to also hurt Billy. Why Phyllis's true target is Newman Enterprises, not Jabot. The thing is, I don't think Phyllis really wants Jabot. First of all, she knows her daughter Summer would hate her for taking it. Summer's company, Marchetti, is part of Jabot. Not to mention Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow, would hate Phyllis too if she took over Jabot and screwed up things for Summer at Marchetti. Phyllis's son, Daniel Romalotti, Michael Graziade, might also walk away from her for hurting his sister and friends of the family. Plus, there's the fact that Phyllis doesn't actually hate Jack. She dislikes Diane, but their rivalry is pretty low-key and bland at this point. Also, I really don't think Phyllis would take Jack's family legacy away from him and away from Harrison Locke, Redding Munsell, who is Phyllis's grandson. However, Victor is a whole other issue. He is someone that Phyllis truly hates and will always loathe for very, very good reason. Victor's the one Phyllis really wants to destroy, and she wants revenge for a lot of things he's done in the past. I think Phyllis stole the AI from Kane with a specific plan to target Victor. Do you remember when Kane was telling Phyllis about the AI program and his plans to take over everything in Genoa City? From the get-go, she told Kane she wanted to crush Newman, take it over, and she wanted Victor working for her. She wanted to see him crawl. I don't see Phyllis doing a 180 on that and deciding to crush Jack instead. The masterful deception, using the Abbotts to distract Victor. I think Phyllis went to Victor and told him she stole the AI for a couple of reasons. First, Phyllis knows Victor would find out about it anyway. Genoa City is a small town, and word would spread that Kane lost control of the AI. I mean, she just stole it, and already Jack and Diane know thanks to Kane. So that's part of why I think Phyllis approached Victor. She came to him to cut a deal and make him think he was getting something good from her, and then repaying Phyllis with something that Victor doesn't even consider valuable, which is Jabot. I think this is all part of a plot. I think Kane played right into Phyllis's hands because Kane did what Phyllis expected, and he ran to Jack and Diane to warn them. So Victor's going to see Jabot reacting, and he's going to think Phyllis is really doing it, and that's why the Abbotts are scrambling. They're getting up their defenses, but Victor may assume it's because the attack actually happened. Plus, with Jack calling Billy to come to the mansion and then Jack calling Kyle, saying he needs to leave Los Angeles and get home ASAP, that'll even further substantiate it. He will think, oh, Phyllis is really doing this thing. So, Victor's going to see the Abbotts panicking and worried that Jabot is about to be taken over. He'll see Jack, Billy, Diane, and Kyle all on the defensive. The Trojan horse. How Phyllis plans to take down Newman. Victor's guard will be down because he'll be so busy thinking about how great it's going to be when he finally destroys Jack that Victor may not notice the Trojan horse that he led into his life. Because don't forget, Phyllis is supposedly a brilliant hacker. She stole the AI, and I'm sure she's capable of using it and even modifying it. The thing is, it's already set up to be used in a very weird way. To Victor, it should look like the program is targeting Jabot, but maybe it's dismantling Newman Enterprises instead. If you remember, Kane had a backdoor thing built into the AI. Kane was going to let Billy use the AI and do his dirty work and target companies in Genoa City. But Kane said that he would be the one who would secretly be controlling the AI, and Billy would only think he was in control. I suspect Phyllis is doing the same thing. I think she picked up where Kane left off, and she's letting Victor think he's in the driver's seat, but it's really Phyllis, thanks to that backdoor that Kane had programmed into it for him to use himself. Let's be real, Phyllis is long overdue for a win, and Victor is way overdue for a comeuppance. And if Phyllis got the better of him, OMG, Victor would lose it. He would be totally humiliated. You know that everybody in Genoa City would have a good laugh if Phyllis bested Victor. So yeah, everybody might be pretty impressed with Phyllis. I think it'd be nice to see Victor knock down a few pegs, thanks to Phyllis. In the bustling, ever-scheming world of Genoa City, few characters have the audacity, cunning, and sheer unpredictability of Phyllis Summers. But the latest developments on The Young and the Restless have taken her machinations to a shocking new level, leaving fans questioning loyalties, motives, and the true cost of ambition. As Victor Newman's empire trembles, Phyllis is no longer just a pawn in someone else's game. She's a player rewriting the rules entirely. It all began with whispers of a secret plan. Phyllis, whose charm has long masked a razor-sharp strategic mind, appeared to be quietly maneuvering behind the scenes, nudging, manipulating, and scheming in ways even the most seasoned Genoa City players couldn't predict. Her latest move was audacious. She set a trap for Victor Newman himself. For decades, Victor has ruled with an iron fist, demanding loyalty from family and associates alike, often at the cost of relationships and trust. Yet, in a stunning twist, it seems his most devoted ally-turned-adversary, Phyllis, has uncovered vulnerabilities in his empire that even he didn't foresee. The revelation came during a tense boardroom showdown at Newman Enterprises. Phyllis, armed with damning evidence of Victor's latest manipulations, turned the table on him with a confidence that left everyone reeling. While Victor is no stranger to betrayal, having survived countless schemes from enemies both within and outside his family, the audacity of Phyllis's move struck a nerve. The boardroom, a familiar battlefield where Victor has long asserted dominance, became a stage for chaos as Phyllis exposed a secret alliance Victor had been nurturing with an unexpected rival. Fans were quick to pick up on the subtle signs leading up to the confrontation. Phyllis's carefully timed meetings with influential business contacts, her cryptic conversations with Nikki, and her unusually calm demeanor all hinted at a game-changing maneuver in the works. Unlike past schemes which sometimes bordered on reckless, this plan was calculated, precise, and daring, a masterclass in strategic manipulation. The brilliance lay in its subtlety. Victor, consumed by his perception of omnipotence, failed to notice the quiet storm Phyllis was brewing right under his nose. The fallout was immediate. As Victor's carefully constructed alliances began to crumble, his control over Newman Enterprises wavered, leaving him scrambling to salvage authority and trust. Employees whispered in hallways, family members exchanged tense glances, and competitors sensed an opportunity to exploit the chaos. Meanwhile, Phyllis, emboldened by her audacity, continued her advance, leveraging the situation to strengthen her own position. For the first time in years, she wasn't just fighting for survival or validation. She was dictating the terms of the game. Yet it wasn't just Victor who felt the sting of betrayal. The repercussions of Phyllis's plot rippled across Genoa City, affecting everyone from close friends to former lovers. Chelsea Lawson, always wary of Phyllis's intentions, found herself reluctantly impressed but undeniably alarmed. Could Phyllis truly execute such a daring maneuver without collateral damage? Or was this just the beginning of a domino effect that could engulf everyone in her orbit? Meanwhile, Jack Abbott and Billy Abbott watched with a mix of intrigue and concern, realizing that Phyllis's actions could shift the balance of power in ways that might jeopardize their own positions in the business world and within their family. Adding another layer to the drama is the emotional fallout. Phyllis's relationship with Nick Newman, long a source of both passion and tension, faces renewed uncertainty. Victor, notorious for using personal relationships as leverage, might attempt to weaponize their connection to regain control. The personal stakes are as high as the professional ones, creating a volatile mix of ambition, resentment, and betrayal that threatens to ignite conflict on multiple fronts. In Genoa City, loyalty is never guaranteed, and alliances can crumble at the slightest provocation. Interestingly, Phyllis's move challenges a long-standing dynamic in the Newman family: the unshakable perception of Victor as an invincible patriarch. For decades, Victor's dominance has defined the corporate and personal landscape of Genoa City. But Phyllis, through calculated risk-taking and shrewd insight, has chipped away at that facade. The spectacle of Victor, usually composed and commanding, grappling with a threat from someone he underestimated, is both exhilarating and unsettling. Fans are left to ponder. Has Victor finally met his match, or will he retaliate with the full force of his cunning and influence? What makes this storyline particularly captivating is the way it interweaves suspense with character development. Phyllis is no longer a one-dimensional schemer. She's a layered, multifaceted character whose intelligence and audacity challenge both her allies and adversaries. Her actions force viewers to reconsider past judgments, revealing a character capable of both ruthlessness and strategic brilliance. In a show where betrayal often comes with devastating consequences, Phyllis's latest gambit elevates her to a level of complexity rarely explored in daytime television. The social media buzz surrounding this twist is palpable. Fans are divided, with some cheering Phyllis's ingenuity while others express shock and concern over the potential fallout. Memes and theories flood platforms as viewers dissect every move, conversation, and glance, attempting to predict the next twist in a saga that seems increasingly unpredictable. What's undeniable, however, is that Phyllis has captured the audience's imagination in a way that few characters can, challenging authority, subverting expectations, and rewriting the rules of engagement in Genoa City. Of course, in the world of the young and the restless, no plan is foolproof. Victor Newman is nothing if not resilient, and the question now isn't just about Phyllis's success, it's about the inevitable counterattack. Will Victor exploit a hidden vulnerability in Phyllis's plan, reclaim his power, and assert dominance once more? Or has Phyllis truly set the stage for a new era in Genoa City, where the rules are hers to define? The uncertainty adds a delicious tension, keeping fans glued to their screens, eager to see who will emerge victorious in this high-stakes battle of wits and willpower. Ultimately, this daring plot twist isn't just about strategy or betrayal. It's about power, identity, and the delicate interplay between ambition and consequence. Phyllis Summers has, in one masterstroke, forced the entire landscape of Genoa City to shift beneath its inhabitants' feet. Victor Newman, ever the formidable adversary, now faces an opponent whose brilliance, cunning, and courage cannot be underestimated. The boardroom showdown, emotional turbulence, and potential ripple effects across the Newman empire promise weeks, if not months, of compelling drama. As chaos reigns and loyalties are tested, one thing is clear. Phyllis Summers has redefined the boundaries of what's possible in Genoa City. The daring, shocking, and unapologetically bold moves she's made ensure that fans will be talking about this storyline for years to come. And in a town where trust is rare and betrayal is inevitable, the only certainty is that nothing will ever be the same again. Deals aren't just business, they're personal. And when Victor Newman is involved, every decision carries the weight of 1,000 battles, a lifetime of grudges, and the ruthless drive to win. This week on The Young and the Restless, Victor faces a choice that threatens not just Newman Enterprises, but the very empire he's built. He's taking a deal. But in Genoa City, deals are never simple, and the implications of Victor's choice promise to ripple through every corner of the city. Victor Newman, the man who has weathered scandals, corporate takeovers, and family betrayals, has always played the long game. He's the chess master of Genoa City, anticipating moves several steps ahead. But even a master can be caught off guard when the stakes are personal. The deal on the table is tempting. A merger offer from a rival conglomerate, promising unprecedented expansion, liquidity, and a chance to silence certain adversaries once and for all. To any outsider, it seems like a masterstroke. But Victor knows better. Every handshake carries the risk of a knife in the back. Every signature could be a chain around his neck. The drama unfolds in a tense boardroom scene, with Victor flanked by loyal executives like Nikki Newman, Adam Newman, and Victoria Newman, each offering their own counsel, each balancing ambition against loyalty. Adam, ever the strategist, warns that the deal could make Victor vulnerable to hostile takeovers in the future, suggesting caution. Victoria, with her usual blend of intellect and intuition, presses for a more measured approach, emphasizing the need for a contingency plan. Nikki, the emotional anchor of the family, worries about the human cost, the employees, the families, the reputations at stake. Victor, however, is unyielding. His decision isn't just about money, it's about legacy. "I've built this empire from nothing," he tells his board, his voice a mixture of pride and warning. "I won't let anyone, not even a golden opportunity, strip me of what I've earned. But sometimes even I have to play the hand I'm dealt." That line alone sets the tone. Victor is calculating, yet willing to take risks when the reward is worth it. The tension heightens when word of Victor's potential agreement leaks to Genoa City. Predictably, the city reacts. Sharon and Nick see the opportunity for their own leverage. Jack Abbott, never one to miss a chance to complicate a Newman move, schemes behind the scenes, looking for weaknesses he can exploit. Meanwhile, Chelsea Lawson, always attuned to corporate and emotional currents, recognizes that Victor's choice could have unintended consequences, especially for younger Newmans who are still finding their footing in the business world. Victor's choice to take the deal isn't just a corporate maneuver, it's a psychological gamble. He's balancing pride against pragmatism, ego against foresight. In a world where family loyalty is often conditional, and betrayal is just a boardroom away, Victor's decision reflects a deep understanding of human nature. He knows that by taking the deal he can control the narrative, but he also knows that it could unleash a storm of envy, resentment, and even rebellion within his own ranks. The tension reaches its peak in a private confrontation with Jack Abbott. Jack, always the thorn in Victor's side, tries to manipulate the situation, appealing to Victor's old habits of overconfidence. "Victor, you think you're untouchable," Jack sneers, "but every empire has its cracks. Make the wrong move, and even you won't be able to patch it up." Victor, ever composed but visibly irritated, counters with a smile that's more warning than reassurance. "Jack, I don't just build empires, I defend them. And I don't take advice from men who've spent their careers chasing what others built." The verbal duel is electric, highlighting the high-stakes world of Genoa City power plays. Yet, what makes this storyline truly compelling is the ripple effect on Victor's family. Nikki senses the stress beneath his steely exterior. Adam is calculating how to position himself if the deal backfires, and Victoria worries about the message it sends to the younger generation. Even teenage characters, who are usually on the periphery of corporate drama, feel the impact. The choices of the Newman patriarch ripple outward, affecting relationships, trust, and loyalty. And then there's the human element, the sacrifices Victor must consider. Deals like this never come cheap. There are concessions, compromises, and moral calculations. Perhaps a department gets downsized, perhaps a long-standing partnership is sacrificed, or perhaps an old enemy gains unexpected power. Victor's decision isn't just financial, it's ethical, emotional, and strategic. It's about who he wants to be remembered as: the ruthless titan, the shrewd negotiator, or the man who always found a way to protect his own. As the week progresses, viewers witness Victor's thought process in a series of intimate moments. Late-night calls with Nikki, strategic sessions with Adam and Victoria, and a quiet reflection alone in his office. These sequences are more than filler. They reveal the man behind the empire, the vulnerabilities beneath the armor, and the weight of decades spent battling rivals, family, and himself. Victor taking the deal is a headline move, but it's also a deeply personal story about legacy, ambition, and the costs of power. By the climax of the week, the deal is finalized. Victor signs on the dotted line, sending shockwaves through Genoa City. The reaction is instantaneous. Stock prices soar, alliances shift, and enemies reconsider their next moves. But the true drama lies beneath the surface. Victor knows that the aftermath will be even more dangerous than the negotiation itself. By taking the deal, he's entered a new battlefield, one where strategy, loyalty, and cunning will be tested like never before. In true Young and the Restless fashion, the storyline leaves viewers on the edge of their seats. What seemed like a straightforward business decision quickly transforms into a complex web of power, family, and ambition. Victor Newman has taken the deal. But in Genoa City, nothing is ever simple, and every victory carries the seeds of the next conflict. Victor's decision to take the deal is more than a plot point, it's a statement. It's a reminder that in Genoa City, power isn't just about money or titles. It's about vision, courage, and the relentless drive to stay ahead. For fans, it's a testament to why Victor remains one of daytime's most compelling figures. No matter how many adversaries emerge, no matter how complex the web of intrigue becomes, Victor Newman continues to be the man who defines the rules of the game. Even if the cost is high, the stakes are perilous, and the consequences are unpredictable. As the fallout begins to unfold, viewers can expect the unexpected. Betrayals, new alliances, and perhaps even moments of vulnerability from the Empire's towering patriarch. But one thing is certain, Victor Newman taking the deal is not the end of the story. It's only the beginning. And in Genoa City, beginnings are always more dangerous than endings. The young and the restless is no stranger to betrayal, secrets, and shocking twists. But the question on every fan's mind this week is whether Phyllis Summers is quietly plotting to double-cross Victor Newman. As the queen of calculated moves and emotional gambits, Phyllis has always had a knack for keeping viewers on edge. But recent developments suggest that even Victor might not be seeing the full picture. Could this iconic character be ready to outwit the most powerful man in Genoa City yet? Let's unpack the clues and possibilities. Phyllis's strategic position. Phyllis Summers has spent decades maneuvering in Victor's orbit, alternating between loyal ally, romantic interest, and unpredictable adversary. She knows Victor's weaknesses, his obsession with family loyalty, his corporate ruthlessness, and his personal vendettas. Recently, she has appeared cooperative with Victor, particularly in matters concerning Newman Enterprises and key corporate acquisitions. On the surface, she seems aligned with him, but the young and the restless has a long history of deceptive calm. Phyllis's compliance might be strategic, a way to lull Victor into a false sense of security while she quietly gathers leverage. Historically, Phyllis has demonstrated the ability to pivot quickly when the stakes are high, especially when her personal or professional survival is at risk. This raises a tantalizing possibility. She could be setting up a masterstroke that no one sees coming. The subtle signs. Recent episodes have featured subtle hints that Phyllis's allegiance might not be as straightforward as it seems. Observant fans have pointed out a few key moments. Behind-the-scenes conversations. Phyllis has been seen whispering privately to Michael and Billy, often in ways that suggest information sharing that isn't entirely in Victor's interest. Could these conversations be groundwork for a larger scheme? Unexplained decisions. Some of Phyllis's recent business decisions have raised eyebrows. For instance, approving certain Newman Enterprises deals without Victor's immediate knowledge could indicate she's positioning herself to gain a tactical advantage. Emotional distance. Phyllis has always been emotional, sometimes impulsive, but lately, she seems measured and calculating. Fans notice that she smiles less when Victor is around and appears to evaluate situations more strategically than sentimentally. This change could signify that Phyllis is playing the long game. The Victor factor. To consider Phyllis plotting against Victor, it's crucial to examine the man himself. Victor Newman is notoriously hard to outmaneuver. He's cunning, resourceful, and deeply paranoid. Anyone attempting a double-cross must tread carefully, or face immediate consequences. That said, Phyllis has an advantage. She knows Victor personally, emotionally, and professionally in ways few others do. Historically, Victor has underestimated Phyllis at times, particularly when he assumes she is emotionally compromised. His assumption that Phyllis will act out of sentimentality rather than strategy could be a critical miscalculation. This is precisely the type of blind spot Phyllis could exploit if she is indeed plotting behind the scenes. Potential motives. Why would Phyllis consider double-crossing Victor? There are several plausible motives. Power and independence. Phyllis has spent years in Victor's shadow. A successful maneuver against him could establish her as a more autonomous and powerful player in Genoa City. Financial gain. Newman Enterprises is a goldmine, and aligning herself with a stronger stake, or even secretly redirecting assets, would secure Phyllis's financial future. Revenge. While Phyllis has often seemed loyal to Victor, their history is fraught with betrayals, broken promises, and personal slights. Any of these could motivate her to exact a strategic revenge. Protecting loved ones. Phyllis has consistently prioritized her children, particularly Summer and Daniel. If Victor's actions threaten them, Phyllis could act in ways that appear to betray him but are really protective maneuvers. The evidence in YandR storylines. Several recent storylines hint at Phyllis's potential scheming. Billy and Phyllis's rekindled connection. Fans have noticed that Phyllis and Billy's renewed closeness could serve a dual purpose. On one hand, it's personal, But on the other, it positions Phyllis to wield influence over Newman Enterprises' family dynamics. If she can sway Billy, she can indirectly challenge Victor. Corporate maneuvers. Phyllis's recent approval of deals and acquisitions, sometimes under the radar, suggests she may be setting up a safety net. Whether she's acting for her own gain or for a more complex objective is yet to be revealed. Interactions with other Newman players. Phyllis has been seen engaging with key figures like Michael, Victoria, and even Nikki in ways that hint at alliance building. Could she be quietly forming a coalition capable of challenging Victor? Could it be a red herring? Of course, in the world of soap operas, appearances can be deceiving. It's entirely possible that Phyllis's actions are meant to mislead viewers rather than Victor. A common trope in The Young and the Restless is the false lead. Characters acting suspiciously, only for the real twist to emerge elsewhere. Perhaps Phyllis is playing both sides, or maybe she's maneuvering to protect herself rather than plotting against Victor. Fan theories and speculation. Online fan forums are buzzing with theories. Some speculate that Phyllis's true target is not Victor himself, but a larger corporate takeover scheme that could leave Victor vulnerable. Others believe she may leverage her closeness to Victor for personal revenge, emotional, financial, or relational. One popular theory is that Phyllis is setting up a scenario where she gains control of Newman Enterprises temporarily, creating chaos before ultimately returning the empire to Victor, cementing her reputation as a master strategist. Another angle suggests that Phyllis's potential betrayal is tied to family dynamics. Could she be using the double cross as leverage to protect her children or influence Billy and Summer's futures? This would align with her historically protective instincts while still keeping viewers on edge. The dramatic stakes. If Phyllis does indeed double-cross Victor, the stakes are enormous. Newman Enterprises could face instability, family alliances could fracture, and Genoa City's corporate landscape could shift dramatically. For viewers, this storyline has all the ingredients of classic YandR suspense. Deception, tension, and the ever-present risk of fallout that could ripple across multiple characters and plot lines. Conclusion. While nothing is confirmed, the signs suggest that Phyllis Summers may be quietly plotting a strategic move against Victor Newman. Whether it's a full-fledged double-cross or a subtle, self-protective maneuver, Phyllis is positioning herself as a player not to be underestimated. Her intelligence, knowledge of Victor's weaknesses, and willingness to take calculated risks make her a potential threat in a way few others could manage. For fans, the suspense lies in the waiting, watching Phyllis carefully, analyzing her every word and gesture, and wondering whether she'll finally assert herself in a dramatic twist that could change the power dynamics in Genoa City forever. One thing is certain. In the unpredictable world of The Young and the Restless, no alliance is permanent, no loyalty absolute, and Phyllis Summers is always full of surprises.